It's a gas.
Okay. This is where I was a little over a year ago. This was June 21st of 2024. Now, this wasn't 100% accurate. Hang on. This wasn't 100% accurate because I had to manually enter everything in, and I didn't have all the data entered in, but it was pretty close. So my goal was $5,000 a month, and I was at $30 a month just over a year ago. So I've come a long way. I've almost reached my $5,000 a month goal in about a year. So my previous analysis of duplicating that or duplicating my income is quicker than I thought. Hang on a second. My girlfriend's calling. I gotta call her back. Anyways, she always calls at the wrong time. Anyhow, she always calls when I'm making a video. So this is where I was in June, almost July, before I started this company. I had some money. I was still playing with it. I was still learning. I'm still learning now, really. But I mean, I was more of a noob 2 years ago. But I got off the road. When was it? Was it 2023? Yeah. I got off the road 2023 because a business associate promised she could guarantee that I would be able to make as much money as I'm making on the road if I go work for her or with her as a business partner. But she was skimming off the top and giving me the crumbles and treating me like an employee rather than a business partner. So I didn't make any money. So that was the end of our professional relationship. I also considered her a friend, but that was the end of our friendship as well, because she basically screwed me over. So my girlfriend, we had just gotten into a relationship that year, 2023, and so we've been together 2 years now. Anyways, so we had just gotten into a relationship. She didn't want me to go back out on the road, so I was looking for a local job. So I didn't really make any money. She was more or less supporting me. I was paying my own bills, but she was buying the groceries and whatnot. And I didn't really have any real bills besides my land payment, my credit card payments, and my IT business. Other than that, I really didn't have any bills. About that time, and then the farm bills. So I mostly paid for my own bills, except for like groceries and utilities, because she invested in my Kaplinger property, and she invested about 15 grand into my Kaplinger property, and another grand into my other property, helping me put up fence to keep my animals in, because I started getting neighbors that actually started caring that the animals were grazing on their property. Before, nobody cared. It was all just vacant land. And but people started buying property around me. I couldn't afford to buy it. I wanted to, but I couldn't afford it. And so I had to start putting up more fencing. So she helped me pay for that. I ended up paying her back a year later out of my inheritance, which wasn't much, but it was enough to pay her back. And I think I had a couple grand that I put into stocks, but not very much. Pretty much most of it went to paying debt. I can't remember exactly how much I invested, but maybe 1,000, maybe 2,000. My brother took 12 grand of his half of the inheritance and put it into BITO and was making almost $1,000 a month, and I was like, well shit, I should be doing that. But I didn't. Anyway, I pretty much have my stuff diversified. So he's kind of kicking himself in the butt now because BITO went down and now he's only getting like $600 a month, but it's still pretty good. BITO wow, it's way down. Oh no, there it is. It's back up now. It's paying 76% yield. So, I started putting more money into EETH, and now that Zem went up, where'd Zem go? It was up. I guess it went back down. Nope, there it is. Zem went up to 25%. So, I've been trying to catch up with my brother as far as dividends go. But, anyways. But yeah, that's where I was just over a year ago. Let's see. We're in November. Let me go to November. See where I was 1 year ago. Of course, I'd have more money in stocks if I didn't buy that llama. Okay, here we go. Here's a screenshot. I was up to $111 a month a year ago today. Now, let's see where I am now. Oh, calendar. Monthly income, $384. So, not too bad. In 1 year, I pretty much quadrupled it. 184. I mean, 384. Divided by 111. Yeah, I quadrupled it. So, almost 3.5 times what I was making a year ago. So if I keep doing that, what do we got? What'd I say? Here we go. Let me go back. So, if I triple this, by next year, I'll have 3 months income in dividends if I keep doing what I've been doing. So we'll just say multiply it by 3. So 385 times 3. Yeah. By this time next year, I'll have 1 week's income per month. So I'll have a quarter, approximately, a quarter of my income duplicated. Not too bad. If I can just keep doing what I've been doing and keep it up. So I just thought I'd share that. I was like, whoa. I was just looking at some of the stuff I was doing a long time ago, and I just noticed that that's at 30% yield as of today. Now, as I get my debt paid down and as I get this up, then I'll be investing in things that pay a lower yield. So I'll be growing my passive income a little slower. However, with compounding interest, basically, I might maybe be able to duplicate my income in less than 5 years. Maybe. So you'll have to keep following me, and I'll let you know how I'm doing as I go. But yeah. So far, I've only made $200 this year per month, or $200 a month this year. So this is my future earnings from this day forward. As of now, if I don't touch it again, this is my future earnings from this day forward. So yeah, we'll see 1 year from now if I'll at least probably double it, but we'll see if I can quadruple it, or not quadruple it, triple it. See if I can triple it in the next year. Wish me luck. But like I says, right now I'm just investing in things that pay more dividend yield than the interest rate on my debt. So my highest interest rate right now is like 25%, but I just got a new credit card that is 20%, actually it's 19%, and I'm going to transfer all my debt over to that card and quit using the other card. So I'm basically right now investing in anything that pays more than 20%, which is high risk. Most of it's high risk. Some of it's maybe not, like Zim. I don't think Zim is high risk. BITO, EETH, they might be high risk. But they're ETFs, and most people say that ETFs are safe. So, but it's only as safe as crypto is, you know. But we're investing in futures, stock options or whatever for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So, I suppose that's only making Bitcoin and Ethereum more valuable. I don't know. I haven't done that much homework. So once I get that credit card paid down, and once we get this property in our name, which will be in our name next month, and we get the loan against the property to get the mobile home out of foreclosure, my girlfriend wants to get a little bit extra so she can get a pickup truck. And then that way we're only paying 7% interest instead of her having to pay like 15% interest. And then having to have full coverage insurance. Although she might still have full coverage insurance, but at least this way she won't have to. So I'm going to get the same amount as well, pay off my pickup truck and pay down my credit cards. So at that point, I'll be at or close to debt-free, with the exception of my 2 mortgage payments, which one will be approximately 7%, and the other one's 4%. And other than that, I'll be debt-free. So then I can start investing in stuff that pays a lower dividend yield, because my interest rate on my debt will be lower. So at that point, I'll start investing in anything that pays more dividend yield than the interest rate on my largest interest rate on my mortgage, which will be about 7%. So yeah, I'll be investing in a lot more dividend stocks. And basically what I do, I think I've showed you this before, but like right here, EETH is supposedly paying 120%. I don't think it's adjusted. They haven't adjusted their dividend yet, because it still says November. Once it says December payout, then no, it's just the dividend payout, and that dividend yield will change. But at the moment, I'm looking at it at 120%. So right now, for the last 5 years, it's down. So I would not invest as much. I would only maybe invest $120 if I had $120 to invest. If it was up for the last 5 years, then I would invest $1,200 if I had $1,200, and that's at the time of payout. So instead of dripping, automatically reinvesting my dividends, I'll go in each one. Every time I get paid, I'll go in each one. I'll look at the dividend yield. Let's just go to Zim, for example. So I'll go and look at the dividend yield, say it's 25%. Then I'll look to see if the stock is up for the last 5 years. If it says yes, then I'll put in $250. If it says no, it's down for the last 5 years, then I'd only put in $25. And that's when I got paid. As you can see here, I've only cashed out twice. The first one was a test. The second one, the stock was down for a while. Then the stock went back up, but they dropped the dividend to like 1%, and I needed the money, but the stock went up enough to where I made as much on the cash value side as I would have on the dividends. So I cashed it out. Paid more taxes on it, but I needed the money. So, but then I started putting more money back in. I think I'm pretty close to where I was. And the girlfriend is calling me again. So, anyways, I'm gonna leave you at that. Oh wait. Nah, forget it. I'll call her back here in a minute. Oh, calendar. So yeah. now that Zim went back up, I got my dividends up to approximately almost $5,000 a year, which is 1 month's income. So $384 a month, which is just over what I would like to make per day. My daily is only $12. I need to basically get that monthly down to the daily number. That's my goal. Not even that much. I'd be happy with $250 a day. But anyway, well, let's see here. If I want to make $100,000 a year, because I got to pay taxes on that, divided by 365. Yeah, I need to make about $275 a day. So that's my goal. I got a long ways to go. But I just thought it was cool that, you know, a year ago I was at $111 a month, and now I'm up to $384 a month. So I'm doing really good. Doing really good. Hopefully it just keeps growing like that, and I can retire in the next 5 to 10 years, because I'm tired of driving truck. I'll probably still drive truck. I'm not tired. I like driving truck. I just don't like to have to do it, you know. I want to be able, and working for CTI was nice because I could work when I wanted to work, but it sucked. Slip seating. I hated slip seating. At first it wasn't so bad, but it wore on me because they didn't keep their trucks clean like they said they would. They're like, oh yeah, we detail the trucks between every driver. That was a bunch of crap. So yeah. I talked to them recently, seeing if I could buy a truck, and basically, or even if I got my dividends up to where I didn't care about making my truck payment because I was making bank, you know, then I could lease a truck and drive whenever I wanted to drive, or buy a truck and drive when I wanted to drive, or by then I might just get me a dump truck and then work locally whenever I want to work. Then I can get cheap gravel anytime I want, you know, cheap dirt, whatever, you know. Somebody wants to haul some stuff off, they'll pay me to do it, and I'll take it to my land and use it wherever I need it, you know. So that's probably what I'll end up doing, is buying me a dump truck eventually, probably in about 5 years. And I thought about buying a big truck, over-the-road truck, 18-wheeler truck, and boosting my income so I can boost the money that I'm investing in dividends. But I'd have to be able to make $250,000 a year in order to do it. If I couldn't make that much, it wouldn't be worth it. That being said, even if I only made $200 a year and the truck didn't cost me an arm and a leg, because I'm not going to buy anything brand new if I buy a truck, but you got the risk of the motor blowing up or something major happening, or the truck being a lemon. And if that was the case, $200,000 wouldn't cut it, because I'd be losing money. So I have to be sure that I could potentially make $250,000 a year. I have to talk to the owner-operators a little bit more, make sure that I can make that kind of money here before I even, you know, really look closer at buying a truck. But if I can, then I might buy a truck. I got a good accountant. She'll do all the paperwork for me, or most of it. I got a good lawyer. So, yeah. I've got the experience. I pretty much know most of what I'm doing, you know. So, I just don't know how to work on the truck myself. I mean, I can do a couple things, but I can't do a lot of it. So, I will need to find decent mechanics in the areas that I run. But like I said, if I can do that, then I'll boost my income, I'll boost my investment, and then I'll be able to make this number grow faster. But if I can't, then I won't. I'll just stick to doing what I'm doing. And if I want to leave this company, I'll go find something else, pays a little bit better, so I can make some more money. But every company lies. So it's like everywhere I go, it's like even this company, when I hired on, they're like, oh, it's only 5 days a week, blah, 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 home every weekend. That was a lie. And then I was like, TJ Maxx and Marshalls, I couldn't hardly, I didn't have time to stop and eat, or go to the bathroom, or take a shower. It was like go, 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 non-stop. And, it was wearing on me. I did it for a year, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. But I needed to stay at the company because we're trying to get this land in our name, get everything in our name, so I have to stay at the same company. So I switched divisions. I make a little bit less. Maybe $200, $250 a week less. But let's see here. 384. Oh wait, let's go back. 460 or 400. Yeah. 4600 divided by 52. So yeah, I'm making now, with my dividends, I'm only making $200 a week less. But you know, I got more time. If I wanted to bust my ass and kill myself, I can make more money out here on the road as well. But like I said, once I get the mortgage and everything in my name, if I don't buy a truck and stay here, I'll probably bounce and go somewhere else that pays a little bit better and it'll get me home every weekend. But yeah, good jobs are hard to find. Most of them suck. This one, like I said, they lied about the home time. They kind of lied about the money, but not really. But yeah, I don't remember exactly what they said about the kind of money I would be making. I don't remember if I even wrote it down. But the main thing I remember is I was going to have the weekends off. It was going to be 5 days a week, and that was a lie. And then another thing they didn't tell me was anytime I get a holiday off, I got to sacrifice my weekend and work the weekends. So if the holiday fell during the week, then I'd have to work the weekend. And not only that, but it started out, it was five days a week, with the exception of 3 months out of the year, which is their holiday season. Then 3 months a year turned into 4 months a year. Then 4 months a year turned into 5 months a year. And that's when I said, fuck this, I'm out of here. I'm going over the road. And I just couldn't take it anymore. And now, from what I understand, they're working 6 days a week, 6 months out of the year. So it just keeps going more and more and more. And then again, like I said, if a holiday like Thanksgiving is on Thursday or Friday this year, well, then they have to work the weekend. Their only weekend day off, they would have to work because they got Thanksgiving Day off. So it's like, no, I don't think so. So, and that was backbreaking because you had to load and unload. Well, they loaded the trailers, but then you had to unload, and then they had these Gaylords, these large bins that they would put the recycles in. You had to reload those back on the trailer. And so, and then you had 3 or 4 stops on your route. And they never had room for the product, especially during the holidays. And then they wanted you to make room for the product. It's like, it's not my job to do your job to make room for the product. You need to make room for the product. And they would just try to manipulate me into doing it. And then the Gaylords, they would overstuff the Gaylords. You couldn't hardly get them on. And then they'd be like, oh, you have to take them. You have to take them. And I'm like, I ain't got to take shizzle manizzle. If you can't pack them right, I'm not taking them. But then they throw a big hissy fit. And then I think only one person did this, but one lady reported me for something I didn't even do. She said I said something derogatory to her, sexually, I guess, I don't know. And I'm like, I told my boss, I was like, I wouldn't even say something like that to somebody I was attracted to, let alone somebody I wasn't attracted to. And this woman was fugly. I mean, there was no way I would ever hit on this woman. Ever. Not to mention I was in a relationship too. So, and like I said, I wouldn't have said what she said I said to someone I found attractive, let alone someone I didn't. But that just she kind of made me think of this other chick that I knew growing up. We reunited on Facebook a few years ago. We don't really talk too much anymore. But she was always bragging about how guys were hitting on her. And this woman's like 300 pounds. And I'm like, I don't see how... I can see how sometimes someone might hit on her. I mean, she was cute, but, in the face. But that was about it, right? And she was always talking about how people were always hitting on her all the time, everywhere she went. And I was like, I think you're smoking crack. And what I think it was they was trying to make themselves feel good by pretending that people were hitting on them all the time. Or like that lady who accused me of saying whatever I can't even remember exactly what she said I said, but and maybe she was talking about somebody else and my dispatcher thought she was talking about me. I don't know. But nonetheless, some people, like Daniel in the Lion's Den, some people want you to say something, and if you don't, then they accuse you of saying it or doing it because you didn't do it, and they wanted you to do it. So I was like, yeah. But, after the Me Too movement, I barely talk to women anymore. I'm like, I don't want to get accused of something I didn't do. And there's a lot of guys like that. They just avoid women because they don't want to get accused of something they didn't do. So, yeah. Anyways, I got off track. But yeah, I just wanted to show how I improved over the year and how you can basically do the same thing. I'm not trying to brag. I mean, it might sound like it. I'm excited, but I'm trying to help people for the most part. So that's the only reason why I'm doing this. Because I'm not one to really brag. My girlfriend is. She's always like doting on herself. She wants me to dote on her more. It's like, well, I would probably dote on you more if you didn't dote on yourself as much as you do. Because you don't give me time to dote on you because you already do it for me. So, whatever. I don't do that, right? too much. But I'm mostly doing this to help people, because I wish I knew this 20 years ago, 30 years ago. My life would be so much better now if I knew this a long time ago. So I'm 51. I only got 10 more, maybe 20 more years to go before, retirement age. I should already probably be retired. And if I would have known this stuff 20, 30 years ago, I'd probably be retired by now. I mean, I knew a little bit, but nobody really taught me. People talked about this, they talked about that, mostly day trading. I've heard buy and hold a lot over the years, but nobody really explained buy and hold. Nobody told me about dividend stocks. I had to discover it by accident. And so now, because I wish people told me about it, I'm telling you about it. So, yeah, check out dividend stocks. Check out the Minority Mindset guy on YouTube. He will teach you mostly everything you need to know, at least to get you started, so you can go in the right direction. Like I said, once I get my debt paid down, I'll be doing more of the investments that he's talking about, but he's still pointing me in the right direction. So, anyways, gotta go, gotta call the lady back. She already called me twice, so it might be important, I don't know. Alright, bye.